Hello everyone, welcome to Creepy Nibs. I'm Count Chuckula as usual. Today I have an ink review. It is on Robert Oster Black Violet, which I have here in the form of a sample. It's nice ink, nice dark ink. See, if you get it in a sample, it usually comes in a vial like this. If you get it in a bottle, it comes in a bottle like this. Shiny. Oh, it's not showing up. Whatever. Anyway, so yes, here we go. Okay. So here is my coloring swatch of it. It is a very dark purple. Comparisons. Here's Bongo Box Ink of Witch, or Ink of the Witch, or the Ink of Witch, something. It's got witch in the name, and I like that. This has a bit more red to it. This one's more of like a true purple underneath the darkness. Here it is with Robert Oster's Barossa Grape, which is certainly lighter. Similar shade of purple, though. And Diamond Damson. These are the closest ones that I have in my collection. So, yes, cool. Alright, you see that? Good stuff. It's nice purple. I like this color very much. And here is the testy test with the bleach and the water. It is not very water resistant. As you can see, bleach will either turn it completely like white or blue. So yes, that's pretty interesting. Yes. Okay. Chromatography. I don't have an acetone one for this one because it looks exactly the same as these two, so I didn't think that was necessary. So here we go. It is a base of pink, rosy kind of pink. Nice pink. I like this color pink. Then it goes into a black gray color, kind of. And then a bunch of like super bright blue. This is the normal one. This is the one I let dry. The dot got a little bit darker, but not very much. This chromatography is really neat. I like it. Cool stuff. Alrighty. Pens used for the paper tests. Here is a Palette Metropolitan with a fine nib. I love Palette's fine nibs. They are wonderful. Nice and smooth, nice and fine, all around, very good. And a Pilot Plumix with the standard medium stub nib. This is one that I wetted a little bit because for some reason my Plumixes tend to be way too dry to write consistently. So here we go. We ready? We ready? Paper tests. Clairefontaine. I don't know, why did I roll that? Whatever. Here we go. 90 grams per square meter. If you want like a business appropriate ink, but not something straight black or straight blue, you could definitely get away with this. It looks pretty much like a black when you are writing with it. Purple is very subtle, but you do see it in some parts, especially in the that Plumix. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Good stuff. Took 11 seconds to dry in the fine nib and 22 seconds to dry in the stub. So pretty good. Those swatches are pretty deep. You can't even tell it's purple, really. The smear, you definitely see it when it's thinned out. But other than that, very professional purple. That swatch looks pretty good. Water test. Did not do very well at all whatsoever. Yeah, definitely took most of that away. You can't tell. Well, you can kind of tell. You can see it better on camera than you can in person. So that's a thing. Don't get it wet. Treat it like a gremlin. On the back, little bit of ghosting. See, because that's where I was writing really slow and kind of put down a ton of ink. But other than that, not really anything, nothing to write home about. as you can see. Yes, alrighty. So that's good. Good performance. No complaints on that paper. Fabriano Ecoqua. Yep, get the purple in the stub. I need to stop doing that thing because I bet it's annoying as hell. There I did it again. Plumix looks good. It's a nice ink. I like this ink. 5 seconds to dry in the fine nib and 13 seconds to dry in the stub. Swatch looks nice. Water test did better than it did on the Clairefontaine, but still not very good. On the back, no bleed, no feathering, no spreading, no echo, no sheen. Well behaved. Still, again, you can see it through a little bit in that cursive, not cursive, what am I talking about? Like calligraphy kind of dealio. But yes, okay. Rudia. 8 grams per square meter. You get a lot more of the purple on this paper, which is pretty nice. I like that part. Well behaved, no feathering, no spreading. You get some shading in that Plumix. Very nice. I like that. 6 seconds to dry in the fine nib and 13 seconds to dry in the stub. Swatch looks nice. Water test kind of looks hellish and gross. Turned it like woolly and blue. Not very pretty. So again, don't get it wet. Bad time. No bleeding, except for when I scratched through the paper on that swatch. Water test pushed it through a little bit. But other than that, very good. No complaints there. Tomoe River 68 gram cream. And took away a lot of the purple. But since cream paper is kind of yellow toned, and color theory is a thing, it will kind of eliminate the purpleness to it. So it looks very much like a gray, like a nice gray. I like this. It's good stuff. You got more shading. You even get a little bit in that fine nib. Let's see. Yeah. This part's there. Good stuff. And the smears look pretty neat. So that the purple sticks around, and then it just smears away that dark blue kind of deal. Took 9 seconds to dry in the fine, and 23 seconds to dry in the stub. That swatch looks neat. You get a little bit of sheen there. That's pretty cool. Water test did not do well at all. But really, compared to, like, Fabriano, it didn't do a whole lot worse. So take that as you will. No spreading, of course. No bleeding. No echo. Not really anything. It's pretty good. Awesome sauce. Alrighty. Tomoe River 52 gram white. Let's see. Let's like refocus this bad boy. Again, I took out a lot of the purple. Not sure how or why. It looks more like a dark gray, black kind of thing. But it's nice. It's nice. You get shading in that the Plumix. It's nice. It's nice. It's good stuff. Took 9 seconds to dry in the fine nib and 17 seconds to dry in the stub. Get more of that sheen in the swatch. That's pretty nice. I like that. Water test looks interesting. Look at that. I don't think I need to use any kind of descriptive language for that any more than I already have. These parts did real bad. But to turn that pink, I think that's similar to the pink that you see in the chromatography. Let's see. Yeah. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Good stuff. I like that. Bled through a little bit in that swatch, but I laid it on super heavy to try and see if it would sheen, and it did. little bit of echo. Nothing too terrible. But this is Tomoe River. It's super thin. Stuff like that. So yes, that's good. I like it. All right. Peach, laser jet, 32 pound. And purple is back. See more of the purple. Still very gray purple, but it's nice. Took 2 seconds to dry in fine nib and 2 seconds to dry in the stub nib. So that's pretty good. Though it could have been the plume mix was starting to dry out a little bit. But whatever, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's cool. Swatch looks alright. There is some spread compared to something like Tomoe River, but that's just because of this paper. And water test looks like I took my glasses off. And it's all blur-tastic. But it's stuck around, so you might be able to recover it if you don't, like, love yourself. You can see some of that blue. It's starting to chromatographize, something like that. Whatever, there's a word. So there's that. There's no bleed, except in the swatch. Push through on the water test, but that happens a lot with papers like this. But there's no echo. Not really. There's a little bit in some of these spots here. That's from the Plumex. So that's that. Shitty copy paper. Feathering definitely happens. Not as bad as it does sometimes, but it still happened, and it looks kind of woolly and just all around gross, and I hate it. Spreads a considerable amount. Took 1 second to dry in the fine nib and 1.5 seconds to dry in the Plumex. Oh yeah, ew, look at that. I hate it. Look at that water test. Good God, it's horrifying. But also kind of beautiful in a certain way. I don't know. But yeah, definitely see all the colors and the chromatography in that part. Explodey. Alright, now you want to see the back? Let's see the back. Bleed and echo a whole lot. But this is the worst paper I've ever used in my life. So that's to be expected. All that bleed through on the scrubbies, the bleed through on the swatch. Look at that explodey bleed on the water test. Nastastic. Staples filler paper of a mysterious weight that I don't know. Alright, so we get that purple. It's very purple on this paper. Pretty nice. I dig it. Some shading. Do we get sheen on this one? No. Took 5 seconds to dry in the fine and 17 seconds to dry in the stub. Water test turned it blue. And yeah, didn't do too great. But if you're desperate, probably wouldn't be too difficult to reacquire your words. That shading's nice. I like that shading. And on the back we get ghosting, near bleed in spots, but it doesn't ever go completely through except for in the swatch. A water test pushed it through a little bit, but that's all. So that's a thing. And finally, the best paper ever, Marmonomosity, 80 gram per square meter. Look at that. Look at that shading. You lose some of the purple, but that's fine because this paper is a dream to write on. If you never have written on this paper, I recommend you stop watching this video immediately and go buy some. But yeah, that shading into Plumex, I live for it. Took 5 seconds to dry in the fine and 13 seconds to dry in the stub. It's kind of a dry ink. That's, as you could have told from the rest of the thing. It dries on the nib kind of fast. That's the thing that I experienced when I did this. But it's fine. It happens. It was a pain in the butt in the Plumix. But that Plumix is also not very nice in general. Water test looks disgusting and I hate it. I think this is when like the Plumix really started to hate my life and want me to suffer eternally. So that's why it looks even more like garbage than usual. And the Swatch, you get a tiny little halo of sheen there. So that's pretty good. Did I talk about the dry times? Anyway, there's the dry times in case I didn't talk about them. So we get a little bit of ghosting on that calligraphy part, but I'm writing really slow and it's putting down a considerable amount of ink. No bleed, really. Push through on the water test a little bit, that's all. Not too bad. Not too bad. Pretty good ink. I dig it. It's nice. So, if you're looking for a deep, dark, black, purple color to use in your life, this would not be a bad choice. So yeah, that's my review of Robert Oster Black Violet. Have a fun time doing the things. Love your pets. Love other people. Except Nazis. Punch them. Bye.